Here we go, guys. Chelsea has finally announced a new signing in Joao Felix, and we can only welcome him to Chelsea Football Club. We're gonna go through the stories around it, what he had to say shortly, and I'll give you my thoughts and opinions around the player. Then we're gonna talk about some other players that could departure in the coming days before the transfer window shuts down. So before we continue any further, and if you are happy that Chelsea has signed Joao Felix, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my page and hit that notification bell down below so you never miss when the content drops. Chelsea is where he belongs. We are delighted to announce the signing of Joao Felix from Atletico. Value was going to be around 45.5 million in pounds, and there could be further add-ons depending on how he performs and how Chelsea performs. It was also reported that Joao Felix had 2 phone calls with the manager Enzo Maresca prior to the signing, helping him convincing to join Chelsea, and we assigned him on a long-term contract of 6 + 1 year, which could extend all the way to 2031. He has also accepted to reduce his wages compared to what he earned at Atletico, so that is a great thing. He could earn more money in his contract depending on how he performs, so it will be like bonuses. Joao Felix mentioned that this is a chance for me to find a home. After 2 loans at Chelsea and Barca, I needed to stay permanently in one place, and there is no better place for me in the current moment than Chelsea, and I see a perfect place to shine. So that is really positive. He feels like Chelsea is his home, and he actually really enjoyed being a player here under the 5-6 month loan spell he had there when Potter was our manager, and he was desperate to stay. I was a little bit off a lot of things that made me want to come back. The project, the club, the league, the fans, the time I spent here that I loved. I felt really good when I was here despite the results we had. I'm really happy to be back. So that is so key. I want players to play for Chelsea, and that is going to be happy being a player for us. So that is delightful to hear. He's going to raise the level of the squad with his abilities and his talent. I think in terms of his movement and where he's going to be in the right place, he can drop down, link up, drive the ball forward up the field and find other advancing players. That is one of his strengths. In terms of taking early shots as well, being creative, attacking the box. He's a creative player that is very dynamic and silky on the ball, and it's going to be tough for the opponents to really stop him, and he's really a player that can get off your seat. Where could he then be deployed in Enzo Maresca's system? Because Maresca starts in a 4-2-3-1, but then we interchanging it to either a 3-2-4-1 or a 3-2-4-1 sort of diamond shape. And could Joao Felix be on top of that and play behind the striker? Or could he play in one of the left half spaces? I think that would be his best positions in my opinion. But we could also try him up front as a false 9 and out wide, and being the wide player that can interchange with one of the half space players. I'm optimistic around Joao Felix, but I hope we get it right now, because we can't afford to have more signings that won't contribute and deliver and be consistent, because we already made tons of signings that hasn't worked out so far, and therefore we're selling them instead just after 1-2 years. Next story we're gonna go through is more focused on Raheem Sterling. Fabrizio Romano mentioning that Sterling and Chilwell are now officially out of Chelsea project as they are training apart from the first team. Maresca was very honest in the press conference and said, "I just tried to be honest. Told Raheem he's going to struggle to get minutes with us. Really, he's going to struggle here too." They are training apart. The situation with both of them is quite clear. We have a big squad, and it's impossible to give all of them minutes. If they are looking for minutes, it's better for them to leave. Goal to keep all players happy. Some of them you have to sacrifice. In the current moment, he's just having 21-22 players training with him, and the rest of these guys, not his problem. They are training somewhere else. It's up to the club to move on this guy. Some people call him arrogant and didn't take this positive. I'm just seeing it like, what choices does Enzo really have? It's better to be honest and straight up to the player. Really has been so injury prone. I got all the respect for him for what he's done under Thomas Tuchel, helping us winning three trophies. Majority of his Chelsea career, he has missed so many games, and I don't see any place for him in the squad in the current moment in Maresca style. And there's nothing wrong with that. The manager need to have the possibility of deciding which players he wants and not. The same goes for Raheem Sterling. He's been heavily inconsistent. Ever since we bought him, he has not performed up to the levels he's shown at Manchester City. That only necessarily his fault? Perhaps not. I mean, we have been changing managers every month. I wonder there has been so many inconsistencies from most of the players in the squad. But Sterling earns so much money per week and he hasn't performed up to those levels. And if Maresca feels he doesn't need him, we have to let him go. I really thought it was gonna work out for Sterling under Maresca. I thought he was gonna get a new life and he's gonna suit into the system. But Maresca going with his gut feeling here, and we have to believe in him and let him make those choices. But because it's so crucial for a manager to have the decisions and keys when it comes to selecting players to stay or not, because it will just boost the chances of him being successful here. Also good that he clarified in the press conference how he's thinking, how he's operating. That has made it publicly that he's only training with the 21-22 players in current moment, and the rest of the guys is training somewhere else, and he doesn't see them, he doesn't speak to them anymore. You have to take those ruthless decisions. I mean, this season starts soon. And he was also asked if he has sympathy for these guys, and he said he has it. He has gone through that himself when he was a player before. But what is the choices? What you have to do, what you're gonna have to do. We're moving on, of course, to Conor Gallagher shortly. He said a farewell message. He's training with Atletico now. Finally, he could make the move, and I think it's gonna suit into Diego Simeone's style of play perfectly, because he wants those workhorses, the running and being aggressive in the press, helping out defensively and cover so much ground. Absolutely love this mentality, determination, his work rate. He never gave up. He tried to prove people wrong game by game, and for me, he definitely proved me wrong. So I'm a little bit sad he's going, but I wish him all the best luck in his new chapter in Madrid. Burnley and Chelsea have signed all documents with Bashir Humphreys deal. Exclusive details of the deal: £12 million fixed fee, there's 2.7 million in add-ons, and there will be also undisclosed sell-on clause. Humphreys is a new Burnley player. Here we go, story confirmed. I wish Humphreys best luck there. I think moving to Burnley will be key for him. He will get more minutes, and therefore he could develop further into a graded defender. I think we could have turned more into the academy, because I feel there is so many talents and ballers we have there, instead of going out to the market and buying other under 23 players that has necessarily not performed. You can see that in some of the players we have bought. We could have just complement the squad with other academy players that is literally for free here. So that's my thoughts around Humphreys. Armando also updating us with that Armando Broja has completed medical test at Ipswich Town today after deal agreed with Chelsea. There will be a loan with an obligation to buy if Ipswich manage to not get relegated, and then there will be a package in excess of £30 million as revealed yesterday. I think that is a brilliant deal, that Ipswich have to pay those money if they manage to stay in Premier League. And then we're getting in 30 million for Broja. I think that is an excellent deal. I wish him good luck too. It didn't work out for him here. He's extremely lucky with his injury. But the same argument goes here. If he wants to continue to develop and reach his potential, he has to move on and find minutes elsewhere and get those crucial minutes to develop further. And Broja is a fantastic person. Great attitude and determination. He's going to become a good striker for Ipswich. So that's all around the latest story. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How you feel around Joao Felix joining. How you feel around Sterling, Humphreys, Chilwell and Broja leaving. And I happily read it. And thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm out. Peace.